Welcome to our class. In this video, we will learn about natural language processing, or NLP. This is the ability for the computer to understand what we are saying to it and to reply back to us in a language that we can understand. So, natural language processing, or NLP, is a subfield of computer science and artificial intelligence. It uses machine learning, which enables computers to understand and communicate with human language. This human language can either be written or spoken. It is the technology behind many of the AI tools we use every day. Some of these are virtual or voice assistants, machine translations, and chatbots. Some common applications of NLP: language translation, text predictions, helping us to write something on our phone here. Email filtering, spam detection. This goes on behind the scenes. We're not really aware of it. Spell check and autocorrect, we see that happening. Suggestions, recommendations in a lot of our retail sites, social media. Text summaries, sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is the ability to determine the emotion or feeling of some content. Does it have a positive tone or negative tone? I would like to go over some of the concepts involved in how NLP works. The first is tokenization. For example, when we ask the computer a question, which is a sentence, that sentence is broken down into what are called tokens. It could be one word or a phrase. It is easier for the computer to analyze the text in smaller, manageable pieces. Another part of the process is normalization. Normalization means converting the text so that it all falls into a standard format. For example, lowercasing everything, removing punctuations, expanding contractions, and removing white space. It is much easier to process when everything is in the same standard format. Stemming or lemmatization, they pretty much mean the same thing. It refers to breaking down words into their stem form. For example, running would be converted to run, played would be converted to play. It's easier to work with one word than multiple variations of that same word. Stop word removal. This refers to removing unimportant words so that we can focus on the important words. Stop words are words like the, is, but. So here in this sentence, the bird sat on the tree, we would remove the word the word on. So we have left bird sat tree. These are the meaningful words that we're going to be dealing with. Part of speech tagging. This is the process in which the computer identifies the different parts of the speech, such as a pronoun, adverb, verb, noun, and related syntax. Named entity recognition, NER. This is where the computer focuses on what is essentially a unique word, such as a proper name, and name of an organization, name of a country, so they can separate them out from regular words that we use every day in sentences. So these words are now categorized into different categories. Sentiment analysis, very important aspect of NLP, where it is able to determine the emotional tone of text. whether it be positive, negative, or neutral. And this is all done using machine learning. Semantics, teaching the computer the meaning of words so that it can focus on words correctly. For example, bat could mean an animal, could mean an object. So it is trained to understand the context, which goes far beyond the actual syntax. It does have some challenges. There is ambiguity in the human language. For example, two words that are spelled the same that have different meanings, which we just looked at, bat. It has to be discerned using context. Sarcasm. Machines do not have an emotional context as we humans do. It cannot perceive sarcasm. It cannot perceive or process idioms and slang. So this type of language would be a little bit more difficult and maybe not produce the best result. We have looked at large language models, which can process human language. So how are these NLP models different from large language models? Well, the architectural structure is a little bit more basic in a traditional NLP model, whereas the large language models use the transformer architecture with the attention mechanism. The traditional NLP models use a simpler architecture, which is optimized for specific tasks, as opposed to the LLMs, which are trained on billions of parameters. And the NLP models are optimized for specific tasks, so their data processing is different than an LLM, which processes enormous amounts of data. NLP models are more economical. LLMs require a very large amount of computing resources. So NLP has been around for quite some time using these traditional structures. In today's world, we are using LLMs as the backbone of an NLP application. So in today's world, NLP often uses an LLM. They're being increasingly used in NLP-driven virtual assistants. They can enable a more natural, human-like conversations, and they can surpass the limitations of traditional chatbots. Chatbots are a very common and familiar application of NLP. Okay, a chatbot is an AI system. It simulates human-like conversation. Unlike a standalone LLM, chatbots are built to handle ongoing dialogues. They can remember the exchange, which allows them to generate a back and forth conversation. So technically, LLMs do not have the ability to handle the conversation. But many LLMs, such as GPT, Llama, and Claude, are the engines behind these chatbots. They're driving the chatbots. These models produce the language and generate their responses, but they don't maintain the conversation or the continuity or recall the past interactions. We have the LLM plus the NLP working together to create our present chatbots so that they can remember the past and they can converse back and forth, but they still have the powerful engine and the processing power and all of the data behind them. So the LLM is the engine and the chatbot is the vehicle that interfaces to the user. So most of the LLMs that we're using today are also chatbots. We have ChatGPT. That is the chatbot. GPT is the LLM. There's different versions of GPT, but the LLM technically has a different name from the chatbot, but they're very similar. The same thing with Claude. Claude is the chatbot. There are different versions behind that chatbot of Claude. Another common use of NLP is for a virtual assistant. The term chatbot and the term virtual assistant, they're sometimes used interchangeably. For the most part, they're pretty much one and the same. There is a slight difference between them. So let's look at this difference. The chatbot is programmed to interact with humans. Okay, so we have ChatGPT and these different customer support chatbots that converse with us back and forth in a conversation, and they appear human. Now, the virtual assistant performs specific tasks. If you look at Apple's Siri and Amazon's Alexa, they are set up to perform specific tasks, and some of those tasks are actually working with hardware in smart homes, which requires a little bit more technology that is outside of the chatbot or the LLM. So chatbots are more conversational oriented and virtual assistants are more task oriented. So here we have some common uses of chatbots. And again, these chatbots work for the most part with a back-end LLM that has been trained in this specific area so that it knows how to handle the responses. We have customer service. That's a very big part of the chatbots today, handling routine questions. E-commerce and retail, assisting with product recommendations and questions. Hospitality and travel, managing reservations. Marketing and engagement, using chatbots on social media to boost interaction. Many businesses are using chatbots. It can provide 24/7 customer support, instant round-the-clock service. Okay, customers receive immediate answers. There's no wait time. Multilingual support, not a problem. Content and marketing. It can generate quality copy and personalized email in seconds. It can automate routine tasks that people used to have to do. And it can reduce operational costs by automating these tasks and lowering customer service staffing costs. There are a lot of advantages to the business for using a chatbot. They can engage the visitors. They can analyze marketing trends. They can assist in software development. They can manage thousands of conversations simultaneously. They can be integrated with a lot of their management systems. And they can analyze interactional data to help direct business. Chatbots have improved the lives for those with disabilities. It improves their independence, can facilitate communication for those who are hearing or speech impaired, aid in navigation for visually impaired, and assist with functions for those who might have cognitive disabilities. And we also have these smart bots for our smart homes. Again, this requires some integration with other computer hardware and software, but we have this voice or text-based interface which can control different systems in our homes, such as lights, thermostats, security cameras, and we can manage our environment conveniently. Again, very useful for people with disabilities. So we've looked at chatbots as one of the most commonly used applications of NLP. However, language translation is a result of NLP, very, very important. Google Translate and similar tools have very nice, sophisticated models that really enable people to have a conversation with two people side by side who don't know the other language, and they can converse back and forth in real time as the phone or the application translates back and forth. Sentiment analysis, businesses are using this to engage customer opinion. They can filter this out on emails very quickly and customer complaints, and they can determine where they need to focus immediately. Speech recognition. We have transcription software, real-time captioning systems. Okay, this ability to convert the spoken language into written text in less than a minute as we're speaking it. These automatic captioning, very, very useful. And of course, our autocorrect and grammar checking, writing assistants like Grammarly enable us to communicate more effectively by identifying and correcting our errors. Text Summarization, being able to condense long documents, articles, again, very good for businesses needing to summarize emails or other documents. Information extraction and search. In our search engines, I don't know if you've noticed it, our search engine results are so much more relevant now than they were 5 years ago due to NLP. Spam detection and content moderation, again, with our emails, identifying, filtering out what is appropriate and inappropriate. Autocomplete with the search engines. Legal and medical analysis, analyzing documents. HR recruitment. Your resumes are all screened by AI so it can understand your strengths and pair them with what they are looking for.